Welcome back to Beat Digger Stadium. I'm John Beltran with Dave Urich. The Beat Diggers are 12 minutes away from making it 5-0 in the season and 2-0 in the Patriot League when they play their road opener in the Patriot League next Friday night in Gilchrist against the Valley Vikings. And with a 29-point advantage, the Beat Diggers have the football 2nd down and 9 at their own 45-yard line. Tormolin will hand it off to Carter. He spins after initial contact. Check that. That's Chris Lee. And Lee is down at the 48-yard line. Some hard running by the senior. That could have been a gain of 1. Instead, we'll give him 3 and set up a 3rd and about a short 7.
That was some hard running. It's like they kind of try to tackle him up above and grab a hold of his arms, but he spun around and rolled to the left and then just kept driving his feet. And, boy, I just love to see that kind of effort.
3rd and 7 from the 48-yard line of the Beat Diggers. 3 in the backfield. Blitz is coming, and Platte Valley moved. I saw Beat Digger move as well, but was that in response to the Broncos crossing the line of scrimmage? And it was, because that's going to be offsides against Platte Valley. Well, this looks much better with the football now at the 47. That'll be 3rd and a short 2 for Brush.
Yeah, their linebacker was timing it, and he came from about 5 or 6 yards deep, and he was going to hit the line running when Tremolin called for the snap. Luckily, Brush didn't snap the ball yet, and we caught him guessing.
Beat Diggers had 8 penalties for 50 yards in the first half, only 1 for 5 in the second. Platte Valley unofficially has just committed their 2nd penalty of the game. 3rd and 2 from the Platte Valley 47. Oh, we've got another flag down. That's going to take it 5 back again. I'm sure that's got to be against Brush. Delay of game after a penalty? Wow. Hey, that's just unacceptable.
And no comment.
Well, you know what I've said many times, no comment is a comment. Because when there's no comment, it's not good.
Yeah.
That is grossly unacceptable. If you're a team with a 29-point lead after the other team's just been penalized.
Yeah.
3rd down and 7 from the 48. Beat Diggers certainly know better. They're on their own side of the field. Just one of those nights, even though they're much more disciplined in the second half from a penalty standpoint. Tormolin on the option right to Garcia. He's got no room, cuts it back to the inside. He's going to lose yardage to the 45. Loss of 3. Penetration over there by Raul Rios. The 6'1", 255-pound junior. Beat Diggers will punt. And that would have been 4-down territory except for the delay of game penalty. 10:25 to go in the game. Brush 29, Platte Valley nothing. I mean, that really is the only bugaboo, but you've said this before. Besides the special teams, any weak facets of the game that get exposed will be exposed by the good teams. And Platte Valley's a decent team, but they're not the quality of a team that's going to compete for a state championship this year. Stratman with a short fluttering punt, and it's going to bounce and take a Beat Digger roll, and it's picked up by Farrenbrook at the 21, and he's down at the 22. Nice job of the Beat Diggers getting down there, and Ethan Brose to make the tackle. The one thing that's very positive about Brush is that you look at what the team has done defensively. They've not allowed more than 1 touchdown per game. In the first game against Fort Morgan, the Mustangs scored twice, but the second touchdown in the waning moments was against the second team unit.
Yep, that's right. And, great teams have defenses that create those turnovers and capitalize on them. I'd take a look at Akron over all those years with Coach Brian Christensen. They'd get a bunch of turnovers every game, and look how many times they were in the finals.
Caleb Creech gets the handoff and a gain of 1. Ethan Brose makes the play at the 23. That's 2nd down. Oh, do they even give him a yard? Looks like he's right at the stick. Probably 2nd and 10 to go for Platte Valley. The Beat Diggers are looking for a shutout. I mean, they could average giving up 4 points a game during this 3-game homestand. 7 against Ray, 6 against University. They're shutting out Platte Valley with 9:20 to go in the game, 29-0. Logan Sitzman on the second. They will call it 9 for the 23 in a shotgun formation. 2-step drop, throws out to his left, called by Farrenbrook at the 25, and he is tackled out of bounds towards the 30 by Vince Albo. That's a positive gain of 6 for Platte Valley. And Trent Fahrenbrook off the catch. 3rd and 2 at the 32. Check that. They've got to get to the 32. The ball's at the 30.
Boy, the stands here were pretty packed tonight there for a while, but I was just kind of caught off guard and caught me not paying attention as I watched a lot of people starting to file out of here.
And there's the keeper by the quarterback, Sitzman. First down off the left side, and he's going to be held up, but not before he gets to the 34. It's a gain of 4 yards. Driven back by several players. Joe Carwin, the freshman, was in on that play as well. But it's first down for Platte Valley after the gain of 4 to the 34.
I think there was some holding on that play as well. As I watched Rosenbrock playing that outside linebacker, he had to reach around and try to tackle the guy even though he was getting held and blocked.
First and 10 for Platte Valley at their own 34. Shotgun for Sitzman. Has the football, hands it off on the left side. Flag is down, and so is the running back for a loss of 1, maybe 2. That's Trent Fahrenbrook. And Kyle Rosenbrock made the play. I think the Bee Diggers should probably decline this. That's either right back to the line of scrimmage or a loss of half a yard. We'll see what the coaches decide.
Get him out of there. Damn, ref. Get back.
Sideline warning
Ref, he's an idiot.
against the Bee Diggers. So that's the flag. Either way, no gain. Second down and 10, just shy of 34. Sitzman in a shotgun, 5-step drop. Looks deep over the middle. The pass is going to be caught or dropped. If that's caught, it's an outstanding reception, but dropped, broken up at the 46-yard line by Jordan Dunn. He took a lick from one of the Bee Diggers as soon as he made that catch, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, I didn't know for sure. It looked like he caught it, but over there, Trevor Blake, he was the one that was in the best position to see what happened. And after he took that hit, the ball must have bounced and bounced right back up into his belly as he hit the ground.
Committed to serving those in production ag. Premier Farm Credit is the gold standard in ag lending. And welcome home to your hometown grocery store featuring Morgan County's largest variety, the Brush Grocery Cart. 3rd and 10 for Platte Valley at their own 34. Trips to the right. Deep drop this time for Sitzman. Heaving it deep over the middle. That is going to be complete inside the 30. Breaking it to the 20. To the 10. A flag is down. 5, touchdown. Trent Fahrenbrook makes the catch even though he was well defended. If it counts, that's going to go for 67 yards officially. The flag is along the right sideline. And sideline warning against Platte Valley. It'll be a touchdown. We'll call it 67 yards. Bee Diggers simply broke down there because they had that well defended. And Fahrenbrook is into the end zone. The Platte Valley deficit is now at 23. It's 29-6 in favor of Brush.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it was a good play there by Fahrenbrook because he not only caught the ball, but he ran kind of strong. And I think the Diggers kind of expected him to go down. And it's one of those situations when you're on defense, you got to keep playing and you got to want to be in on every single tackle and not just expect somebody to go down. You know, you got to keep playing until the whistle blows.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense.
Unsportsmanlike conduct called against Platte Valley before the extra point.
This will be the extra point.
Say these officials, Dave, have called sideline warnings on each team in the last 2 or 3 minutes. I mean, this is not the only game where players get fairly close to the sideline. I'm just saying, it sounds ticky-tack to me. And I'm putting that mildly. This is going to be a long 35-yard extra point by Collins Landwehr. He drills it right down the middle. 8:21 to go in the game. Brush 29, Platte Valley 7 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran back with Dave Urich from Bee Digger Stadium. Platte Valley trails Brush 29-7, but they score for the first time in the game on a 67-yard pass from Logan Sitzman to Trent Fahrenbrook. A 6-play, 78-yard drive in a minute 36, and Bailey Collins Landwehr, who just drilled a 35-yard extra point, is going to pooch it, and it's caught there by Carrillo, who goes down. Was that a smart play?
I think he almost even waved fair catch before he caught it.
He did. At the 45-yard line, he waved a fair catch, and he went down.
That was a great play.
That is the height of intelligence on special teams. Great play there by Carlos Carrillo. And the B-Diggers are only 55 yards away from getting back on the board, although their goal now is just to run as much clock as possible, leading by 22.
Yep, seeing some different guys out there. I see Randy Baker just ran back out there. I think he's back over there at that tight end position on the left side, but in the backfield we don't see Weiser and we don't see Garcia.
We see Tyler Carter and Chris Lee instead. 1st and 10 from the 45. Tormolin will hand it off on the right side to Carter. Another flag is down, and in fact they're going to stop the play. And this is going to be illegal procedure against Brush. Dave, after a while, I start asking myself, are the B-Diggers really making this many mistakes, or are they just being victimized? And I'm not saying there's a conspiracy. I'm not going that far. Are they being victimized by an officiating crew? I mean, we're talking about a number one team that hasn't shown this much sloppiness, and all of a sudden tonight, flag after flag, and they had started to diffuse the number of penalties here in the second half, and all of a sudden it's happening once again. 1st and 15. Brush has the football at their own 40. Blitz is coming, and there's another flag, and it looked like Platte Valley got across the line of scrimmage, but no, they're going to call a false start on Brush. So here come the penalties again for the B-Diggers here in the fourth quarter.
I'm just speechless because I'm tired of seeing all the penalties. I'm getting bored. The fans are nobody's even yelling or screaming or cheering or
what do you have to cheer for?
They're not even talking. You know, everybody's like in a daze, in like disbelief.
Well, they had a 22-0 halftime lead. The game has flattened out a lot in the second half after the B-Diggers scored in their first possession of the third. 1st and 20 from the 35. No flag, and there's a handoff on the right side to Tyler Carter across the 35 to the 37. Gain of 2. The tackle was made by T.J. Halfley. I have to preface that now with every play. 2nd down and 18 at the 37.
Goodness, it's been a long week.
Well, it's a long fourth quarter. We still have 7:40 to go in the game. Brush 29. Platte Valley 7. B-Diggers have the football at their own 37 at 502 Ensign in downtown Fort Morgan. The place to shop for all of your appliance needs is B&B Appliance, a member of the Brand Source Retail Program. 2nd and 18 from the 37. In motion to the left is Albo. There's the pitch right. A hole for Chris Lee to the outside of the 40. Runs into a Bronco, knocked out of bounds towards the 43, maybe the 44. Trey Johnson makes the play. Pickup of 6 for Lee.
28 yards now on 4 carries for Chris. Remember, he had that 18-yard touchdown run earlier in the game.
3rd and 12 from the 43-yard line. Brett Bostrom is into the game. Only bad thing there, the clock stops. Does not restart in high school football. It does restart in college football after a play goes out of bounds. 3rd and 12 from the 43. One setback. Tormolin, 5-step drop, looking left, throws off his back foot. Complete. 1st down at the 45. Spinning at the 43. Trevor Blake makes the catch. And it's a gain of 14. Trey Johnson makes the tackle.
Just a beautiful pass there by Tremolin. He drops back and he has to drift to his left a little bit, but he kept looking upfield. It wasn't like he had his hips turned the wrong way. He just stepped and threw a bullet.
1st and 10 at the Platte Valley 43. Under 7 minutes to go in the game. Brush 29, Platte Valley 7. Miss Tormolin is conversing with the official. 91 yards passing for the B-Digger Junior. I think they're going to let the play clock run down and call timeout. And that's a good thing that they called a timeout, brought to you by Edwards Wright Price Market in Flowerland, because the B-Diggers are waiting for that second team unit to check in to give them nearly 7 minutes of action. And this is the most animated the B-Digger fans have been in this fourth quarter, and rightly so. because the Bead Diggers have had a secure lead, and now they applaud the efforts of the first team. And the quarterback is Kalen Brandt. Well, this is fun to watch, Dave. See what the second team unit can do.
I don't see Platte Valley rotating any people over there, so there could be some tough going there for this young offensive line.
We'll tell you about some of these players momentarily. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line of Platte Valley. And we had set a record in this game, 3 consecutive plays without a flag, but it's not going to be 4. Another flag is down. Let's see who this penalty marker's against. Did somebody line up offsides? I mean, that's probably what happened. That's going to go against the Bead Diggers. It'll be 1st and 15.
So
I haven't seen this many flags since the movie Remember the Titans, when there was that conspiracy for that one game.
Oh.
It's at the 48. 1st and 15 on the Platte Valley side of the field. Brand is going to hand it off on the right side. Bead Diggers will lose yardage to the 50. Jake Morrow is just swallowed up. And Elon France made the tackle for Platte Valley, that is. The linebacker at 5'10", 165 pounds. 2nd down and 17 at the 50 with 6:16 to go in the game. Brush is up by 22. Backs remain split. Brandt awaits the snap. Man in motion to the right is Morrow. Brandt on the pitch right, and the ball is loose in the backfield, still loose. Platte Valley looks like they have it. That play was broken up, and the pitch intended for Izzy Hernandez, and it was recovered by Trent Farrenbrook. And Dave, you hit the nail on the head. Second team playing against the first team of Platte Valley, and they did have their struggles. Platte Valley has the football at the Brush 47-yard line.
So, you're just a little outsized. Even though Platte Valley has a very young team, they're just outsized out there, and the other teams had a lot of opportunities to play the speed of the game. So it makes it really tough for our offense to go out there and execute.
1st and 10 for Platte Valley at the 47-yard line. Every time these officials blow a whistle, I start cringing. Bead Diggers have to call a timeout because they had too many players in the field. We'll take it with them. 6:01 to go from Bead Digger Stadium. Brush 29, Platte Valley 7 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 1st and 10 for Platte Valley at the Brush 47. Midway through the 4th, and the Bead Diggers lead 29-7. Trips to the right, 2 receivers to the left, naked backfield. Back to pass is Sitzman. Looking, setting, deep over the middle. The pass is tipped and intercepted at the 28-yard line to the 32. The Bead Diggers come up with their 3rd interception of the game, and it is picked off by Jake Brown. Bead Diggers have 7 interceptions in the last 3 games now.
Boy, that was just a heads-up play. The Diggers got a hand up there and tipped it, but then Brown came up and just made a great athletic play, got both hands underneath the football, and the ball was close to hitting the ground, so he caught it and was able to run with it.
Well, Platte Valley still has that first-team defense out there. 1st and 10 for Brush at the 32-yard line. They're going to have to fire off that ball. The center is Joe Carwin, who's had experience with the first team. And now Brandt drops the ball, and it's loose in the backfield. Did he fall on it? A Bead Digger did fall on it. See, they know that Platte Valley's coming, and they're rushing. They're rushing their plays. A loss of 2. 2nd down and 12. Bead Diggers have to do something productive here just to gain confidence for the second team.
It's tough, though, when they're teeing off up there on that line of scrimmage and blitzing a lot. And
yeah.
Usually a junior varsity team doesn't see a lot of stemming and guys moving around on that defensive line and playing in different positions. They're used to seeing, more concrete defenses.
2nd and 12 from the 30 with a back split. And there's the give, I think, to Izzy Hernandez on the left side. He had a small hole that was closed quickly. And Izzy runs hard, but Johnny Day nails him after no gain. 3rd and 12 for the Bead Diggers at the 30.
Platte Valley just wants to get that football back. I don't think they want to end this game without putting a couple more points up there on the board.
Well, all they're going to do is make the score look better. And the final score could look closer than the game actually was. 3rd and 12 at the 30. And Kalen Brandt will take his time until that play clock gets to about 5 seconds. And there it is. 3 seconds to give on the left side to Morrow across the 35. He's got daylight to the 40 along the left sideline. First down for Jake Morrow, out of bounds across the 45, close to the 50. If they give him the 50, it'll be a gain of 20 yards and a Beat Digger first down.
Boy, Jake just broke that thing to the outside, and as he turned it upfield, he just kept fading closer and closer to the sideline over there towards Platte Valley. And man, he just ran hard, didn't he?
Very hard. And he really turned on the speed. He was very Garcia-like. 1st and 10 at midfield for Brush. Well, even if they don't pick up another first down, at least they'll pin Platte Valley fairly deep. Well, that's a big play for the second team. And there's a loose ball, or was that a handoff along the left side? Because it went to Izzy Hernandez, but Brandt looked like he was about to be taken down. It's a gain of a yard to the 49. 2nd down and 9. And you're right, this Platte Valley defense is blitzing and stunting, and obviously it didn't work against the first team, but it's going to work against the second team because they don't have that experience, as you were just talking about.
But, you know, a lot of the players on that Platte Valley defense are sophomores, though, so it's not like it's an age thing. It's just the experience factor.
Right. 2nd down and 9 for the 49-yard line. The Beat Diggers have the football in Platte Valley territory. Brandt on the bootleg right, and he cannot swing it to the outside. He's going to lose 6 yards. And that's because getting in that backfield for Platte Valley was Dylan Jones, a 6'3", 210-pound junior. 3rd and 15 after the loss of 6. This will be the 9th play. Check that. The 6th play of the drive for Brush.
Looked like Brandt was trying to run that bootleg over here to the right side, and it looked like he kind of was going to stop and try to cut it back. But maybe one of those plays where he needed to just run like crazy towards the sideline and then try to turn it up or cut back.
Morrow and Hernandez in the backfield on 3rd and 15 from their own 45-yard line. Brandt, with 2 seconds to go on the clock, is going to hand it off to Jake Morrow, I believe. Oh, check that. That's Hernandez. He faked to Morrow. Across the 45 towards the 47, and there's a late flag. Oh, boy. Hernandez was jawing out there with somebody. It's a gain of 2. It will be unsportsmanlike, and that's going against the Beat Diggers. That's going to drive them back all the way to the 32-yard line, and now Platte Valley should have pretty decent field position after this punt by Tyler Stratman with 2:43 to go in the game. Brush 29, Platte Valley 7.
Brush sends their number 1 punt team out there onto the field to get rid of the football. And I can kind of understand the frustration of the junior varsity offense that was out there just because they're not, they weren't having the success that they usually have.
Farron Brook is back to receive. The Beat Diggers now have unofficially close to 100 yards in penalties. We have to recalculate. Tyler Stratman gets the punt off a line drive, end over end, bounces at the 48, takes a huge Beat Digger roll in Platte Valley territory, also known as territory, to the 38-yard line. So, not bad for the Beat Diggers, and Tyler Stratman a punt of 30 yards. Well, actually more than that. It's at the 28-yard line. So punt of 40 yards, 1st and 10 for Platte Valley, and Tyler Stratman certainly did his job.
You bet. He's done a good job punting the football. He takes his time back there. It's a little nerve-wracking because you're afraid it's going to get blocked, but he's doing a good job of making sure he gets the ball pointed where he wants it and laces up, and he gets rid of it. He's getting a nice roll.
Just shy of the 29, 1st and 10. Sitzman back to throw, looks, heaves it up the right sideline, incomplete, well over Olson, Kyle Olson at the 36. The Beat Digger pass defense has been very good today with the exception of that one play that went for a touchdown.
Yeah, that's right. 167-yard play. Outside of that, they've had receptions of 6, 6, and 6.
No huddle offense for Platte Valley. 2nd down and 10 from their own 29-yard line with 2:10 to go in the game. Sitzman in a shotgun 5-step drop. Still looking deep over the middle. The pass is tipped incomplete. Almost intercepted again by Jake Brown at the 48-yard line of Brush. 3rd down and 10.
Platte Valley's just had a lot of bad luck with some high throws, and that's causing those tips and those interceptions. The Diggers are getting some pretty good pressure on the outside from their defensive ends. Kyle Rosenbrock on that play coming from the right defensive end was really working his way around the corner, and I think that helps. Even though he wasn't close to making a sack, I think that really helps to hurry Sitzman up along with Jake Nichols on the other side.
And there is the give off the left side in a small hole, which turns a little bit bigger across the 35 to the 36, maybe the 37. That's Trent Fahrenbrook. And the gain is 8. 4th and 2 from the 37. Minute 43 to go. Clock continues to run. Sitzman awaiting the snap. On 4th and 2, Day is in motion to the right. There's the handoff right side. That's a first down for Fahrenbrook. And he runs into Beat Diggers at the 45-yard line. We'll give him 9 to the 46. Victor Rojas made the play for the Beat Diggers, and Platte Valley, I think, is going to call a timeout with 1:29 to go as Tyler Stratman leaves the field limping just a bit.
Yep. Fahrenbrook's up to 49 yards on 13 carries. His 2 best carries were the last 2. He's got 17 of those on the last 2 against our junior varsity defense.
So Platte Valley will have it 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line with 89 seconds remaining in the game. Brush leads Platte Valley 29-7. They led at the break 22-0, and both teams have scored a touchdown here in the second half. Dave, I think we'd have to agree that this might be the most unentertaining game that we've seen this season.
Yeah, maybe in a long time. And it was just because of the penalties. I don't like it when
there's no flow to the game.
Yeah, and, anything I've coached, I've seen that in wrestling too, where officials just get too involved in the game. They don't let the kids play, and I know they have a responsibility to keep things fair and keep things safe, but when it starts interfering with the flow of the game, it's disappointing.
Sitzman, play action. Throws to his right. The pass is intercepted. Intercepted along the left sideline. And picked off by Jacob Nichols. Tackled at the 44-yard line of Platte Valley. The Beat Diggers have picked off 4 passes tonight. That's 5 turnovers for the Broncos.
The really neat thing about that is, Jacob Nichols is playing that defensive end on the other side, the weak end, which means when they drop back to pass, he's got to go to flats coverage on the other side. He doesn't go rushing the quarterback. And so a lot of times you don't see defensive ends that are really good at going back into that pass coverage. But he did it, and he did a great job.
This Platte Valley passing game has been atrocious. Atrocious. I mean, when you've got, 2 completions tonight, 2 or 3, and 4 interceptions, 1st and 10 from the 44. Brandt looking to throw, incomplete off to the left. It's 2nd down and 10. That was intended for Nichols. Well, the Beat Diggers, I think, just want to open up the offense a little bit, considering that, as you mentioned before, Platte Valley's bunching up everybody to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it looked like kind of like an 81 dump where their tight end was just going down the field after they faked a handoff, because Platte Valley keeps blitzing those linebackers, so they're trying to get Platte Valley to leave their linebackers at home.
2nd down and 10 from the Platte Valley 44. There's the give right up the middle to Izzy Hernandez. Oh, he could have had a long way to go had he stayed on his feet, but he did gain 7 to the 37. It's 3rd down and 3. He explodes through the hole.
He is fast. I'll tell you what, he's really strong too, with great balance. A kid with a lot of athletic ability.
More than likely, this will be the final play of the game as we are at 45 seconds to go. And the offense is right up to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 3 from the 37. Brandt will hand it off to Izzy Hernandez, and he's met after about a yard or 2. Give him just 1 to the 36. A 4th down and 2. but there's only 22 seconds left in the game. And I don't think the Bead Diggers have to run another play. And that should be the end of the game. The Bead Diggers will improve to 2-0 in Patriot League play, 5-0 overall. Platte Valley will lose their first league game of the year. The final score from Bead Digger Stadium, Brush 29, Platte Valley 7 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.